hopefully you can see my screen here. Thanks, Vicky. Yes, so I'm just going to very briefly say a little bit about the background to the Thriving Lives Toolkit online survey tool, and do a bit of a walkthrough. What I would say is it will be quite a bit of a whistle stop tour. So this isn't intended as a training session on how to use the tool. It's more about familiarising about what the tool's about, what's possible with it, and certainly, I'm very happy for anybody who'd like to look into the actual mechanics in a bit more detail, to talk through that on another occasion. So briefly, the idea behind the survey tool is to really support principles 5 and 6 of the toolkit. So obviously we've got the focus today on engaging parents, and which is principle 6. So the idea is that the survey tool is actually a tool to help engage parents, to hear the voice of service families and service children in identifying what support, what services might be needed, but also to help evaluate the work that you're already doing as a school, and to really use the feedback and use the opportunity to hear the voice of families and children, to develop practice, identify opportunities. Background to it is it was about 4 years ago, I think. I've got a note somewhere, May 2021, where there was some requests from some schools who had just started using the toolkit for a bit of additional support for sort of what to do in relation to involving families, and hearing the voice of young people. And one of the thoughts that was raised, that was suggested by schools, is actually to have a little bit of guidance on maybe how to run surveys, how to collect some ideas, and so that was really what started the process of looking at designing the survey tool. Alongside that, I know that the Skip Alliance is very keen about developing an evidence base around the lives of service children and their families, and the survey tool was seen as a bit of an opportunity for perhaps supporting that, as well, which I'll sure talk about briefly in a moment. But really, what are the aims of the online survey tool? There are really three key aims. One is about actually giving schools a tool by which the principles 5 and 6 of the toolkit can be enacted. The tool itself is a tool for asking questions, listening to what people say. Obviously, it's not just about getting people to fill in a survey. It's about looking at what people have said and responding to that, and feeding back what might have been done in response to some of the suggestions made, some of the some of the opportunities identified. And in that respect, as well as actually hearing and engaging children and parents, another aim of the tool is that it is support for schools. It is a tool that can be used to directly support the implementation of the principles of the toolkit. And then the third aim, which is very, very much a kind of secondary aim, is it does give the Skip Alliance an opportunity for helping to build an evidence base, albeit only where the schools and the participating parents have consented to that. So just briefly looking at the 7 principles of the toolkit, as I've said, the principles 5 and 6, children and her parents engage, are directly supported by the function of the tool. There's then the 3 other areas which are in many ways the focus of some of the questions within the toolkit. So what I've pulled up here on the right are the question sets that are available for the parent and carer survey. So as we can see, there's a link there with the supporting wellbeing, linking to principle 2, supporting achievement, linking to principle 3, transferring between schools, linking to principle 4, as well as principle question sets around parent-school communication, homeschool partnerships, being opportunities to evaluate principle 6. There are also question sets for children. So we've got the question set that's recommended for ages 11 plus. So question sets that have been designed for the secondary age group, and then we've got the question set designed for ages 7 to 11, so sort of school years 4 to 6. Smaller number of question sets because they're more focused on the particular areas identified as most relevant to that age group. In terms of the other two principles, you know, they looking about leadership and about staff training and staff networks. Although the toolkit isn't directly designed to address and support those principles, the idea is that by using the toolkit, by working through the process of running the survey, of analysing the data, and using that to support planning, that again, that embedding that process within the school processes should be supporting those principles as well. So that's kind of, you know, a quick overview of the link between the toolkit and the principles. Key features: the toolkit is customizable. The idea is that when parents and children receive surveys, that they feel as though they are from the school. All of the questions are evidence-based, so we developed an initial draft question set that was based on existing insight, in particular the research that underpins the Thriving Lives Toolkit. But then we went through a process of developing question sets and testing them out, both with schools, but also we were very keen to get some feedback from parents that was not sort of filtered through schools, to ensure that it was really speaking to what parents felt were the sorts of questions that they wanted to be asked. I'm very grateful for the support for that process from the family federations, among others. I think I saw Becky, Anna and Ali are all in on this call, so just an opportunity to say thank you once again for your support with testing and developing the question sets. And then the actual use of the question sets is very flexible, can be set up to meet the current school priorities. And a key point to say as well, that particularly because I know sometimes people get concerned about things like the data collection and then the data collation element of it, the whole design of the toolkit and then the various build versions of it all went through an independent ethical review process to ensure that, you know, that everybody's data is protected within it. Key elements, which I shall briefly show, but it will be make more sense when I actually show the tool to everybody. Most of the question types are quantitative scale response questions. They're easiest to ask and respond to, but also easiest to help collate some automatic reporting and automatic analysis. In terms of data sharing, schools have the option of opting out of the data from their school being aggregated as part of the Skip Alliance's national data set. In addition, individual participants can opt out of that data aggregation. So even if the school is happy for the school level data to be aggregated, individual participants can opt out of that. There's certainly no compulsion, no requirement for individual responses to become part of the overall Skip Alliance data set. And I mentioned about some ethical safeguards within there as well. So in terms of the actual process, I have logged in here and hopefully my switch of screens will be seamless. So this is the landing page that you will see when you first log into the toolkit. The family and pupil surveys are available down on the left-hand side. When you select the survey, I mentioned before about this, there's essentially 3 different question sets that could be used. One is designed for parents and carers, one is designed for school years 4 to 6, and one is designed for secondary age schools children. There's no actual requirement to stick to those. That they are suggestions that the design of the wording and the testing has been based on those particular age groups. But if you prefer the questions in a different set, there is no requirement or no prohibition on using those. We'll look at the parents and carers set as the focus of today is about engaging parents. There is the opportunity to upload a school logo. There is then the mention about customizing. We're very well aware that different terminology is used in different schools in different parts of the country and such like. So there is the opportunity to use and or select the terminology that is the best fit with the terminology that school generally uses. And then you have an opportunity to put an initial, sorry, I will to put in a bespoke introduction to the survey. Again, that's an element of the personalisation. The next is to select the question set. So each survey has a fixed introduction section and a final question. You can have a look at the questions that are asked for each of the in each of the sections. The initial introduction bit is just to collect a little bit of demographic data. The final question is just a typical catch-all. Is there anything else that you want to say about your experience? You'll notice here the square brackets, that's a placeholder term. So in the actual survey, that the placeholder will be replaced by whichever of the relevant terms you selected on the previous screen. There are then various available question sets based on the different principles within the toolkit primarily. They all follow a similar structure, an initial sort of 3 to 5 scale questions, and then typically then 2 free response questions, one about asking what has worked well in relation to that theme, and one about asking what improvements might be made. It's the idea about trying to capture both get some positive reinforcement about what is working well, but also giving respondents the opportunity to to make their own suggestions or identify potential areas for improvement. You can select as many or as few of these question sets as you want. The thought being that each time the survey is run, it's likely that there may be different priorities that might be looked at. It is possible, if you want to select all 6 question sets. I would generally advise against that because it would lead to a very long survey. But typically maybe selecting 2 or 3 of what are felt to be the the most relevant questions at the time, and it can just be dragged over. And then once you're happy with your selection of the question sets, you then have an opportunity, should you so wish. There is no requirement to, but if you'd like to compose an additional question. The idea of this is it's an opportunity to oh, my apologies, I copied the wrong thing. The idea, if there's a particular scheme or something that you've implemented within your school that you'd like some specific feedback on, then there is the opportunity to do that. Once you're happy with that, you create survey, and it tells you that the survey has been created. This is the new survey here that we've created. You've then got two options. One is to print out paper copies, hand it out, get paper responses, and then type all the responses in yourself, should you so wish. To give an example here, so this is the survey that we've just created. Will come out as a PDF and can just be printed, handed out, and you can collect in the paper copies. Or the option is that it can be sent out via email. You can add, as we say here, you can add a single person to, so you can type in recipient details individually, or what I would generally recommend is use the bulk invite function, which involves, if you put all of the contacts that you want to send the survey to into a CSV file, you can upload together, and then that uploads the contacts and sends out an individual link to so this is the list of people that we have just invited to complete the survey. And so they will have each been sent emailed an individual link to complete the survey. If I click on a link here just to see what they will then see when they then will get a link into the online survey to view, and we see that we have the questions here. Won't go through the full set because of the lack of time, but what you then will get is a log here of who has completed the survey. If you hand out paper surveys, you can go in and fill in the responses that people have given. If you wish to send people a reminder, there is a re-invite button where you can send an email reminder to people who haven't completed the survey yet, and so you can manage the responses. So you can know who has responded, but you won't actually be able to view their individual responses if they've completed online, to maintain the anonymity. In order to show you what then happens next, this is one that I prepared earlier. So this can see that, as people complete the survey, you have the status completed. You've got the option of re-inviting. You also know who has given the GDPR consent, and you as a school can remove the consent for individual responses to be available, anonymised responses to be available to the skipper line, should you so choose. Once you're happy with the responses that are received, you can then download, you can look at the results, which gives you an aggregated report. What this does is automatically calculate the responses to all of the quantitative questions. So for example, with the question, do you agree or disagree that the school is interested in learning from service children about their experiences? 40% have strongly agreed, 60% have agreed to that statement. The free text boxes are just collated, so you'll just get the verbatim responses there that can then be worked through. So it's a very simple report with some sort of headline analysis to just help with processing. So that is essentially a tool. That's a very quick walk through those. As I've said there, so with the survey tool, you can design, create a customized survey. You can distribute the survey via email or paper. You can manage responses by sending targeted follow-ups to people who have not yet responded, and you can generate a collated report that does some simple descriptive statistics of the quantitative questions, and then collates all of the qualitative responses for you. So yes, that's my whistle stop tour. I shall stop there, but I'm happy to answer any questions.